If I were to describe what the oratory is, the oratory to me it's more than an event. It's more than a show or a production. The oratory is an experience. It really is this invitation to not just talk about how we become better people, but truly, tangibly practice embodying being better people. It is arts meets advocacy, education meets entertainment. It is late night talk show, but just better.
Oh my goodness. This is where I leave. Let's try this again.
I'm here to tell you that hosting is indeed an art form, an alchemy of presence, conversation, and connection. It's the ability to hold space, to guide a moment, to make an audience feel seen. It's about setting the stage for magic to happen, whether it's on a podcast, a talk show, a dinner party, or a live event. Calgary has had some iconic hosts throughout the years, from Ed Whalen to Dave Kelly, but now a new cohort of hosts, myself included, are emerging in the city and are looking to create a new movement of bringing people together.
Funny enough, can I tell you a story? This couch belongs to an ex. So that's actually Heller. It's fine. There's no behind. I know, there's no bad vibes, no bad juju, but it's just.
We did Sweetgrass.
Hey, there you go, period. But it's just funny because it's like the oratory is a collection of all my lived experiences. But I think in terms of how we got here, is that a loaded question? It shouldn't be a loaded question.
No. Listen, for me,
yeah.
I'm gonna say it.
Sit up.
I'm gonna say it.
Sit up.
You took this dive into being a host. You went head first because you applied to be on that show in the States, that morning talk television.
Live with Kelly. Do you remember? Wait,
What you mean?
Are you serious? Wait, no, it's either you Googled that or
No, I did not Google that. I was there in the morning. You made it to, was it top 10? Yeah.
I'm screaming.
I've been watching Calgary. I've been watching everyone almost 50 years. To know that you were I don't care, because we know that some folks here are a little judgmental.
Wow.
And for you to be top 10, I can imagine some folks may have been but you didn't.
But you didn't. But it's
But you did.
But I did.
Because.
Thank you.
Because
here we are. 100%.
I think that very often we don't think about storytelling as an art. Comedy, the most base of art forms. It is someone expressing themselves with just themselves to an audience. Some people are great at that, some people are not. And so the host is necessary to facilitate that. But also, art speaks in different ways to people. Some people can't see, some people can't hear. Some art you need to feel, and so sometimes you need a segue. You need a mediator to take you on that journey of art, to take you on a journey to assist the artist. Sometimes the artist needs some assistance. Sometimes the audience needs some assistance. And so I think that the host is definitely important, especially in this medium where it uses language. And language doesn't always come from the mouth. Sometimes it's the way you move. Sometimes it's the way that you smile. But definitely communication via language, speech, body language, definitely important in the arts. In my personal opinion, it's our very first experience with the art from ourselves. I am the muse. And some days I'm better at it than others.
truly in a whirlwind 2 weeks of running around on Facebook Marketplace for stores and digging through the random items in my house. A lot of the furniture is kind of built this backdrop as sort of like an imaginary like living room wall. And then there are a lot of like velvet upholstered set pieces to give it a whimsical, dreamy feeling. Priscilla talked about how this talk show is sort of her childhood dream, but all grown up and like cool and sexy now. Velvet just has a really great tactile effect for that.
Why hosting?
You know what? I believe hosting is its own form of artistry. It is a science. There is like this, choreography, dare I say, conductor.
Yeah.
Like to hold the energy of the room, but then to hold space for yourself. Am I okay? Like, hey, is everyone in the audience okay? Wait, am I okay? And then on stage okay? That's a dance. Hosting in terms of, did it choose me? Did I choose it? You might have to ask my mama. She has all the stories.
When you say you don't know if hosting picked you or not, what do people tell you about your hosting? Yeah, because we know that people will have ideas, but also, you're holding space for the room.
Right. Well, of course, yes, absolutely. There's that old adage of we are our own worst critic. Listen, no, baby, we need to change that. We need to be our own best cheerleader. What do you mean? What do you mean? So when I think about what people have told me about hosting, often it is very much like, oh my gosh, like you had so much fun on stage. They're like thanking me for hosting the whatever experience. I like to say experience because I feel like that's what I like to create and bring when it comes to hosting. It's not like you're here at an event and you're here at a show. Yes, you are, but it's an experience. We're gonna experience this together. I'm energy, you're energy. There's energy in this room and we are experiencing this bustling energy, like busting up against each other. So
Carnival.
Yeah, okay. Bacchanal, 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 hey, bacchanal, hey, bacchanal.
Listen, I'm from Kulanaga, and we are Whiskey Town in Nigeria.
The reason I am a host is because I want to talk to people. I want to know people's stories. Good, bad, the other. Every story is great. It doesn't need to be about fame or money or something huge. It needs to connect. And so for me, I want to connect. And if my reputation precedes me, what version of me do people get to connect to? There are many versions of me. In my personal opinion, any interaction is a gift. If I love you, it's even better. If I get to tell your story, it's an honor.
Also want to go back to what you said about conservative Calgary and how it's like, how hard is it to give me a yell, give me a scream, give me something. So here with the oratory, like that is what we're trying to challenge and disrupt. And disrupt. And that's what the interactive piece comes in, the participatory. Like, listen, there better not be a dry eye in this house. We want to blow the roof off. Like, it's just about bold expression, unapologetic, bold expression. Like, just if you feel something, express something. If you feel something, say something. Like, I want to hear a chant, a scream, a yes. Like, it feels like we're in church. This is a new church. This is a new church. This is a new church, Adora.
To be a host, you're asking people to give you a part of themselves, to share something of themselves. And if you don't know yourself, how do you give it to somebody? And so I'm asking you to have the experience of receiving what you've given to someone. Because, yeah, there's no reason to not. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I feel like that wasn't even a question. That was just like rhetorical. And it was like almost a statement. I'm receiving almost what you're saying. I feel like I don't even.
Yeah, but I'm going to make you answer. But I'm going to make you answer because you need to see yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made these when I was like 12.
Are you kidding me with this?
I was convinced that I was gonna start an Etsy shop
Yes.
and sell
As you should.
home decor. I was like 12. But this is the best thing I made.
No.
And I did not follow through at all.
It's number 2 like we got
Nice and
one, we
straight,
got
yeah.
clowns, you got a dollhouse. Like,
Yeah.
did you make that?
If I can touch people to do something great, that's amazing. It's part of why I talk to people, because I want to do something great. Sometimes I want to sit down and watch the next generation do the things that I couldn't do. And sometimes I don't want to do those things. Sometimes I'm grateful that I get to watch, because that's a different experience. And the thing that I think about most when I see Priscilla is how she took so many chances that she had no idea what was going to happen. But I think all of us in our path to move to the next step and have another conversation, that's what we're doing every time, is taking another chance. So the number one thing I feel is pride.
And yeah, this is just like it's surpassing my wildest dreams, and I absolutely couldn't have done it without every single person in this room.
Hosting is an art. Hosting is an art, and I will forever advocate for that, because yeah, I am a lover of the arts, you know? I wish I could play an instrument, girl. I wish I could sing a tune. But I'll host everyone that has their own, you know, artistry and their own modalities, and you need a host. I want to start a website that is youneedahost.com, because everybody needs a host. You don't know how much you need a host until you don't have a host. Or thank you, you know, this is host love right here. Host to host, like, right? How many times have you been to something, Adora, when you're like, see, you already know, I didn't even finish my sentence, and you're just like,
Can we keep this moving, please? You don't have any kind of story? What you do this morning? Something.
give me something.
Something.
Yeah.
What does it feel like
Yeah.
when that's happening and you have to go off quote unquote script?
Whew. At the end of the day, it's improv. It's a little bit of improv. But girl, life is improv.
Okay.
Come on, life is improv. Like, we're all, do any of us know what we're doing? No. It's like, please, can we like speak on that? Like, we're all just trying to make it to the next day, figure it out as we go, one foot in front of the other. And it's like, we all like pretend like we know what we're doing. And it's like, oh, because they look like they know what they're doing. So I better look like I know what I'm doing, but I don't actually know what I'm doing. And anyways, improv. Life is improv. When I'm on the mic, I always have things in my back pocket though. Like, you have to come prepared, right? Obviously, 100%. And then you make it look like improv. But anyways, yeah, no, it's a mixture of improv, script, preparation.
I've been in places where there's no vibe. It is.
Oh no. That was a good snore.
And we're clear. There's no
clear.
COVID here. The very first time I hosted a group of people, and basically we were at Women's March. There were a lot of people, 7,000 people there, and they wanted to like clap or chant.
Okay.
And I was like, we're in Calgary. I don't know if everybody gonna get this first go round. If we practice, it's gonna happen. But do we have time to practice? And so I decided we're gonna do a sound wave. So instead of trying to get everybody to go up and down, because I know there's no way we getting it together.
luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna do sound. And I
Okay, yeah.
and truly I was like, is this God? Is this what power is? Because I'm not
That's what I'm
necessarily
saying,
that kind of person.
conductor. You're just like, you are the energy, the vibe bringer, vibe creator, yes.
When I think the next generation of hosts in Calgary, I think how tumultuous it has been for me, that there has been a lot of noise for me. And I wonder if that's the same thing that that next generation is facing. I think of how these spaces, what they look like now, and how I interacted with them. That's not what was happening. And if I'm gonna be quite frank, I would love for hosts in Calgary to not have most of the experiences that I had. Because Calgary has not been kind. But people have been kind. And I think of the hard work that I saw them doing and all the steps that they were taking and how hard it is to figure out what to do next.
The oratory itself is iterative. What it looks like today is gonna be different than what it looks like tomorrow. And next week, like, I don't know, and I'm okay with not knowing. Because we gonna find out. The story, listen, the oratory is about storytelling, story exchanging, and the story is still being written.
Hey.
So I'm okay with not having all the answers. That would be boring. I don't want to know all the answers. Like, yeah, I couldn't.
It would be nice to be able to set it all up really tedious now and then just have it ready to go at the start of the show.
You will do your monologue first, and then the band, once the curtains reveal like the stage, then the band will play instead of like the band plays first.
So I'm just trying to think of how that would work. Like, I guess I just don't want it to feel clunky. Like, I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna feel clunky. I think because there's just so much parts.
But from the set design to your host, to your sound, to the inception of the idea, and all these people are collaborating to make it come true. It's community. It's arts community. And for me, everything is creative and art because it all starts inside us. Is it authentic? Always in the world? No. Here? I think so. It feels like a fancy pajama party, if I'm gonna be honest. Where people get to be excited and share themselves however that looks.
Toby, 4-time Juno winning rapper, singer, just artist. Like, his heart, I feel like, is the thing that drew us to him. Like, yes, his music, yes, he's incredibly talented human, but it's his heart, and that's what comes through his lyrics and his messaging. He has a nonprofit organization called Unpack that addresses mental health and wellness specifically for creatives and artists. And so we were very intentional with reaching out to him that way because he is someone who already gets it.
Time coming lucky on my way. Take a drip on the fly, I just had no pain. It's a drop that you I hydrate them. After this, homie, no change.
He's walking the walk, talking the talk. Every time I've actually seen him, even in interviews, he's so open about his own journey. He is not afraid to say the words mental health. Adore, when I tell you, girl, I swear it's like a swear word I'm saying when I say mental health sometimes. People are like, no, I don't identify. And I'm just like, can you identify with having a bad day?
Yes.
Congratulations, that's mental health. Like,
Right?
yeah. The oratory is this playground for practice. Playground for practice. Because, it's about like the embodiment of the things that we post, things that we talk about. What does that mean? What does that look like in real time, in tangible practice? Like somatically, viscerally, what are we actually doing after we hit that post button, after we sign whatever petition, after, like, what are we doing when no one is looking? Well, let's practice what that could look like in community at least, and then hopefully, that sticks with you because our bodies store our stories. And so what does that look like when we're stories are against other people's stories in the same room? And then when we leave, what does that look like? Like, are we still writing that story? Or is it like, let me put this pen down. Check box, I did that. And, let me throw on whatever. We're just trying. We're not saying it's the solution, but we're like, it's a solution. It could be something. We're trying. At least we're trying. That's it. Been feeling very stressed, overwhelmed, and anxious, all of the things until today, for some reason. Rehearsal day, 24 hours away until showtime, and for some reason today I felt very calm and at peace. To me, that just lets me know that I'm ready, and I have so much faith in the entire crew and the team, and yeah, it's showtime.
When I see a stage full of people, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because it means that something's happening. and I get to get a peek. People communicating, telling each other stories, setting something new up. Everybody has a part. And that's what I love the most about this here, is that even if nobody knows what's going on, the person who is doing their part knows what that is.
We want everyone to be a part of the show. Like, to show up and to be a guest is to be a participant of the oratory. We're all guests of this floating rock. Like, we're all guests of this time and this place, you know? So while we're here co-traveling on this journey together, you know, how can we help each other out? I got a little something, you got a little something, what you got over there, you know? So anyways, that's it. We are here. Mic drop. I don't know.
You know what I love? I love me some blue, and I love me some community.
Yes.
I mean, I love Black people too, but you can get blue and community all over the place.
Yeah.
And especially in Black folks. And so I really want to thank you for being on Living a Creative Life.
Yes. Thank you,
for continuing to do what serves you, to do what does this. You do this. You do this. I cannot wait to see the oratory, to participate in the oratory. And you know what? I just might not be the loudest in the room. I cannot wait for that.
Listen, I can't wait.
Any Nigerians in the house? No. Of course. You always make it.
That will be. Listen.
No, I know when to say something. I also know when to shush.
You can take a step back. That's okay. Yeah, that's what being a good, just human is about. Host. Oh, that's what being a good host is. A good host isn't only a good communicator, but they're a good listener.
Oh,
Let's go.
Oh yeah,
That's so good. That's
process
so good.
this
Come on.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
thing in your back pocket.
Thank you, Adora. This was so sweet.
To the